Welcome back to Wwesnme and to Saturday night's main event out of 10. This is what 12 months have been building towards. John Cena stepped in the ring for the final time after a year-long retirement tour, and we also got some other big matches featuring NXT stars. But yeah, all of the focus, let's be real, was on John Cena. But we're going to start things off with Cody Rhodes versus Wwesnme. Before that, Joe Tess and Stephanie McMahon were hosting the show. I talked about Cena a bit before Rhodes made his entrance. Neither man was putting their title on the line, so it was simply a pride fight, although Femi had a lot more to gain from a victory since he was a newcomer and Rhodes was the undisputed champ. They locked up and the ruler pushed Rhodes to the corner to show off his power. The American Nightmare tried to use his quickness to keep his distance, but Femi eventually caught him with the backbreaker. While Rhodes had a huge experience advantage, Femi was more dominant force. He had the WWE champion reading for a long period. The crowd reacted to something off camera shortly before Drew McIntyre emerged to beat up Rhodes. Femi was upset and the contest was thrown out and got in the Scottish Warrior's face and shoved into the mat. While most of this match was good, this was a disappointing way to end the biggest opportunity of Femi's career thus far. He and Rhodes took McIntyre out and posed together to end the segment. Yeah, like I said, this was a disappointing ending to what was a really good match building up to that point. It made them look good though. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Moving on then to Bayley versus Sol Ruka. And yeah, of course, Ruka had Zarya in her corner after they reconciled on Tuesday. They started with a simple lock-up into an exchange of holds and counters. It was a couple of minutes before either competitor used a strike, with Ruka nailing a kick from the apron. Bayley avoided the moonsault and hit her rival with a huge forearm to take control. The match had a quicker pace than the previous one, so it felt like they were able to see more in a longer time. Ruka looked great against her more experienced opponent. She pulled everything out, and after hitting a snarl snatcher, she was able to get the win. And yeah, brilliant win of her career. Bayley had a big smile on her face, putting over no talent. They posed together in tribute to Cena. A fun match with lots of spots that showed off Ruka's ability, and Bayley played it perfectly. 8 out of 10. As we then moved on to AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans. And yeah, it was appropriate that Slater was in for a match against the former TNA champion for his first main roster appearance. All 4 men are known for their high-flying antics, but Styles has limited big spots in recent years to allow more longevity. Styles and Evans came out of the gate with super kicks to the champs as soon as the bell rang. They were hoping for a quick and surprising victory, but Lee kicked out for a frog splash to keep the match alive. This was a fast-paced contest with a lot of memorable moments. The 3 young guns made their mark, and the veteran Styles seemed to take a backseat at times so they could shine. Unfortunately, the phenomenal one tripped when he went for a springboard signature forearm. It was hard to tell if he had anything to do with the match ending a few minutes later, but Styles and Lee retained in the end. About as the standout moments, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame about the abrupt ending. So overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And then it was what we were all waiting for. John Cena's final match was upon us, and Gunther was looking to make sure he went out on his back. However, The Miz showed up first, looking to make it out himself again. R-Truth came out and revealed Joe Hendry, who spot the A-lister star in the tournament. Hendry arrived when his name was said, took The Miz down so he and Truth could hit the 5-knuckle shoulder together. Yeah, good little segment now. Before Gunther got some heat during his entrance, but it was nothing compared to the reaction Cena received when he came out. You could tell he was a little emotional, but he kept it together. They began with a simple lock at the end of a clean break. The ring general decided to stop playing mind games in the ring for a moment. He took control when they locked up again and started laying chops to the chest. The 17-time champ was able to get in some offense here and there, but the ring general looked as dominant as ever. Cena was selling a lot more to make him look good too. Gunther kicked out the AA and looked like he might have won the match when he locked in a sleeper with a body scissor, but couldn't stay down and managed to reverse the hold. They took the fight out of the ring where Cena put his opponent through the announce table with an AA from the steel sets. He even hit a super AA from the middle right, but it wasn't enough to keep the ring general down. Both men survived multiple finishes from the other before it finally ended with Gunther using a sleeper for several minutes to make Cena finally tap out. Disappointing fans were shown as the victor celebrated. Some, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Some might maybe think it's a bit high, but it was exactly what it needs to be. Cena looked great hitting all of his big spots, but he did even more to put Gunther over by selling for him. On top of that, they worked well together to make this an entertaining bout, regardless of it being Cena's last. Some nostalgia played a factor, no doubt, but there's no doubt in denying how big a moment this was. Cena got to go out on his terms, and that's something a lot of wrestlers haven't had a chance to do, and it was a fantastic way to wrap up a legendary career. As a disappointed crowd chanted BS, and Cena sat in the ring with a smile on his face, he was went out putting someone else over, which is exactly what he wanted to do. His farewell tour has had some bumps along the way, but it ended on a high night with what might be the best match all year against Gunther. The 17-time champ looked shocked to see Triple H, Stephanie and other wrestlers and executives surrounding the ring to bid him farewell. The crowd wasn't happy he lost his final bout, but this was always how it's going to end. Anyone who went into this night thinking he would win was fooling themselves. Punk and Rose draped their belts around Cena's shoulders as the crowd finally got on board and chanted "Thank you, Cena," making this night about not just about John Cena but also also about building the future, featuring NXT superstars was the perfect way to do this. Don't let the crowd's reaction at the end fool you. It was a great show from top to bottom. And yeah, overall, Saturday night's main event gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Femi and Rose ending without a winner was probably the only real complaint. Rooker getting clean win over Bayley was the second highlight behind Cena's farewell. The night ended with Cena getting to watch a tribute video WWE made of him that chronicled his life and career with the company. He left his shoes and armbands in the ring before taking one last walk up the ramp and giving us one final salute. Whether you loved him or hated him, there's no denying that Cena has left a massive mark on the business with a truly legendary run and went out his way. So yeah, full credit to him. What a legend. Thank you, John Cena. 8 out of 10. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.